What is up, everyone? Happy Wild Card Sunday in the real NFL. In the fake NFL, I have the 1972 Miami Dolphins sitting in front of me, and I bought this set specifically for that team. So I'm going to play their first week game, and it happens to be against the 1972 Kansas City Chiefs. This was one of my dad's favorite teams when he was growing up. I'm not sure why, because he's a Northeast Ohio guy just like me. So I'm not really sure what got him to Kansas City, and then what switched him from Kansas City to Cleveland. He probably should have stayed with Kansas City. I'd probably be a much happier young person if that was the case. Anyway, so I'm going to play the first game here, but before I play the first game, I have to set up my team sheets. So I'm going to go ahead and set up both the Miami and the Kansas City one. I'm going to show you how I do both of them. You can watch one, you can watch them both, see how I do it. That'll be the sheet that I use during a game. For example, this is what the 1958 San Francisco 49ers looks like. So you can see I've got the offense there with their ratings. I've got the defense there with their ratings. I've got my wide receiver locators with their grades. I have my running backs locators. I have my interceptions locators right there. And my sacks locators. That's what I use to pull all those players. And then I also have my runs versus passes that I like to do in the earlier seasons. Well, I need to set one of those up for my 1972 games. So we're going to start with Miami. And the first thing I'm going to do is pull the cards out and separate them into their positions, kind of. So we've got Dick Anderson he's got two cards. We'll go with this one. He's also a TC. He's also the third string punt returner and the backup punter. So I'm going to put that one aside for now and put it down here. So I always do it this way. So we got safety, linebacker, wide receiver, linebacker, offensive line, running back, and I'm going to put running back and wide receiver together, quarterback, defensive line, offensive line, and this is just what I do quickly to separate them out. I don't know if we're going to have players during this time period that play both sides of the ball like I do in 1958. But if I do, I'll separate them out also. Oh, we have a fullback one on the team, Ed Jenkins. He probably doesn't see many carries. Corner, halfback, and two cards. Offensive line. Center, fullback, guard, and we have a whole bunch of kicking stuff. We'll put that over there. Oops, I put that in the wrong place. And then that one, middle linebacker, tackle, quarterback. Mercury Morris is a running back, corner, linebacker, free safety, defensive end, wide receiver, linebacker, wide receiver, and kicker. All right, so there I've got my 6 piles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the defense. That's generally what I do. I don't know why. I think it's easier. So let's get the offensive players out of the way. And let's just look at the defense. So we'll start with the defensive line. And you know that if they have tackles, they are 4-3. And if they have nose tackles, they're a 3-4. Let's just find the best players. And we've got 5 guys that are 3s or 4s. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of one of the 3s. So we're going to go Vern Den Herner as an end. Bill Stanfill as an end. They're both 4s. We got a defensive tackle 4. So he's going to be one of our 4. And then we've got to pick between these two. I generally look at the quarterback sack rating. That's how I pick who's the best. All 4 of these guys are 4-4, 3-3. They don't do anything different between run and pass. So there's your defensive line. So let's move the other guys off to the side. And we'll look at our linebackers. We've got a linebacker. We've got a middle linebacker, a middle line. So it looks like we're going to do that right there. These 3 guys are all 2s. On the side, we've got a 4, and a 3. Linebacker. So let's look at our defensive backs. We've got a free safety 5. Well, he's going to play. We've got a cornerback 4, and a strong safety 5. This defense is going to be amazing. So there's your starters. So if we collect them in the right order, we're going to go end, tackle, middle linebacker, tackle, end, outside, corner, corner, and I never know if it's strong or full free. So we'll go. I think it's strong free according to my sheet. So now we've got our defensive starters, and right here we've got our defensive backups. So we got that part done. So now let's do the same thing on offense. Our quarterback. I know this game. So we've got Earl Morrall, who's a 5, and Bob Greasy, who's a 4. I know Greasy played this game, so we're going to start with him. I think he played like the first 5 games, maybe 6 games, and got hurt. So we're going to start with Bob Greasy, even though his rating is a 4, because he played in this first game. Then we'll go offensive line. This is going to be amazing. We got a guard 5, a guard 4, a tackle 4. Oh, not as much as I thought. All right, we need a center and a center 3. Wow, they only have 7 offensive linemen. I wonder if I made a mistake somewhere. That's all right. I'll put that over there. And then now we'll get our wide receivers, our running backs, and our tight ends. So we got Paul Warfield. We got Mercury Morris. Let's see, Jim Kick. Larry Zonka. So we're not going to play Jim Kick. It's going to be Larry Zonka at fullback. And we need a tight end and a wide receiver. So we got a 3 here. It's going to be Howard Twilley. We need a tight end. And it looks like I'm going to have to go with Marv Fleming, who is a 3. And we'll put the rest of those guys over here. So now we've got our starters, and grabbing them in order, it's going to be Warfield, tackle, guard, center, guard, tackle, tight end, quarterback, I believe it's fullback, yeah, and then wide receiver, and then halfback. So now we've got our offensive players and our defensive players. So what we'll do now is we'll go over to our team sheet. I've got a blank team sheet all set up here, and I'm going to pull my keyboard in here so I can type. And we're going to go ahead and type each one of these players in. So we'll start on the offensive side, and we'll go Paul Warfield. He is a 4, and then over here I'm going to put Paul Warfield, and he is an A3. All right, and then we're going to go Norm Evans. He is a 4. We've got Larry Little. And then you can see I've got the math happening down here where it's calculating the total automatically. Jim Langer is a 3. Bob Kuechenberg. Let's see. Kuechenberg. He's a 4. We got Wayne Moore. Operation Wayne down the Dwayne. We got Marv Fleming. He's a tight end 3. We'll go up here and put him in here. C1. You can see the C1 in case you're curious. The C1 is right there under his pass receiving. It's not focusing. It never does. But you can see it right there. Right there. All right. We got Bob Greasy. He is a 4. We got Larry Zonka. He is a 5. I think he didn't lead the league in rushing. That was O.J. Simpson. Got Howard Twilley. He is a 3. He's also a B. I forgot to put Zonka in there, didn't I? Yeah, let's get Zonka in there. Let's see. He is a C1. Whoops. Okay, and then we've got Howard Twilley. He is a B. C2. Finally, we got Mercury Morris. He's a 4. Wow, they had really good running backs. They're a 42 offense, and that's with Greasy. When they get Morrall in there, they're a 43 offense. That's pretty unbelievable. Mercury Morris. Of course, they did go 17-0 this year. He's a C2. Now what we're going to do is we are going to get the rest of the offensive players that have something in their pass receiving column, like this guy here. He's not a starter, Otto Stowe, but he's a CB2. So he's going to be eligible to catch passes. So we'll go Otis Stowe. And he is a CB. That means he's better on short passes, or he's better on medium and long passes than he is short passes. He must be a speed guy. So now this guy here, this Larry Seipel, even though he's an ET, he's a backup tight end, he's a backup fullback, because his pass receiving only has a C and doesn't include a number, he didn't catch any passes. So I don't include him. Jim Mandich, because if I say it the other way, the 13-year-old that runs this channel in me that will laugh. All right, let's see. Jenkins. Hubert Ginn. Not Humbert. Hubert. And boy, their receivers weren't as good as I thought they were, other than Warfield. Then we've got Jim Kick. Say hello to Jim Kick for me. C2. So now we're going to need some more rows. I'm going to have to move this stuff down. So this is going to be Marlon Briscoe. He's a BC2. Now we're getting into the offensive linemen, and we have nobody else. And let's check the defensive players and the kickers just to make sure. So none of them actually played both sides. Or, Deion Sanders caught a pass. Thought he was a great wide receiver there. All right, so that's going to be it. So let me go ahead and update a couple things here. Whoops. Okay, so we got to merge. Whoops. We got to merge and center, and we got to add a border. That's not it. Where's the border? I think if I just do this format. All right, so there's your border. All right, so now we're good with those. I'm going to do this, as I always do. I'm going to highlight the A's. I can't believe they only have one. And now we're going to move on to the running backs carries. In order to do that, I'm going to go to Pro Football Reference. I've got the Miami Dolphins stats right here. We're going to look at their running backs. I'm going to sort by attempts, right? So we've got that. So if I can move this, let's see if I can make this so that you can still see it. I've done this before where I'll just all of a sudden block stuff that I wanted you guys to see. This should work. All right, so Larry Zonka, I'll put his name here. Larry Zonka. And he had 213 attempts. Then we've got Mercury Morris with 190. We've got Jim Kick with 137. And we've got, let's see, Hubert Ginn with 27. So we'll throw him on there. 27. And anybody else? Let's see, Charlie Lee. Is he a backup quarterback? Who is Charlie Lee? I don't even know if I have a card for him, do I? No. Oh, yeah, I do. He's a fullback. He's also the punt returner. All right, he gets carries. He had 21. So we'll do that. Charlie Lee. Here he is. He had 21 carries on the season, which is about 1.5 a game. Here he is, Charlie Lee. Fullback, halfback, punt returner, backup kick returner. So he's going to get the ball once in a while. Not very often, but once in a while. And he had 21 attempts. All right, so we will move this back over here so I get my things. Let's see, where's that border? Oh, if I just do this. Format cells, border, boom. All right, so now let's move sacks down. So now the offense is all set up. We've got all of our stuff ready for our locator. So now let's go ahead and type the defense in. And our defense, oh man, it's really out of focus, isn't it? Need a better camera. I was just watching Dave play San Francisco and Denver from 1985, and his camera is amazing. I need a better camera. So let's go ahead and type in the defense. So we'll start with Bill Stanfill. And he is a 4 on both run and pass. And then he's also a QS8, so let's type that in. All right, so you got Stanfill. I'm going to kill the focus again, aren't I? We got Stanfill as a 4. He's defensive end. He's also QS6 actually. So he's a QS6. So we'll type him in. And let's see if I can get this to. I mean, you can't see him, but the last thing you want to do is see blurriness. There we go. All right, so now we're going to be on Manny Fernandez. He is he's going to be our defensive tackle, and he is a 4, and he's a 3 on sacks. All right. Then we've got Nick Bonacani, middle linebacker. And he is also a 4. Now he is a QS1 and a W5. Right? So we're going to put both of those in. So let's see if I can get this to work here. Down here. There we go. That's pretty close. That's still blurry. Oh, so bad. There we go. So we're going to put his, I'm going to copy and paste because his name isn't exactly easy to type. So he is a QS1. He's also a W5. So that's his interception locator. Oops. So we'll put that there. We'll put a 5 there. And we've got Bob Hines. And he's a 3 and a QS2. There. You've got Vernden Herder as our right defensive end. And he is a 4. He's a W2. And QS6. W2, QS6. We've got Doug Swift. Now, I know this is kind of a pain to have to do, but once you do it once, I'll probably go back and update this when it comes to Earl Morrall, but for the first 5 weeks of the season or 6 weeks of the season, this is the sheet that I'll use. I already did it. I don't have to do it again, and that makes it nice. So Doug Swift, he's a 4, and he is a QS1. And a W7. He got some interceptions that year. Then we go to Mike Colon. And he is a 3, and he is only a W3. We'll go to Curtis Johnson as our starting cornerback. And he's a 4. And I like that all these guys are literally the same against the run and the pass. So it means I'm only going to need one defensive card for them. We've got Tim Foley. And he's a 4. And he is a W3. We've got our boy Dick Anderson. He's a 5. Holy cow. And he's a W5. I don't even know that guy's name. I don't even know who that is, but he must have been good. Of course, I was 2 years away from being born. This game actually took place about 6 weeks after my parents got married, I think is what it was. Then you got Jake Scott. Their defensive backfield, holy cow, 4-4-5-5. Probably weren't throwing on them very successfully. Jake Scott also a 5, and he's a W7. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the bench guys. And that would be these guys right here. And we're going to say, look, Lloyd Mumford. He's a backup corner. He's a corner 2. But he's also a W4. So even though he's not in the starting lineup, he will intercept passes. So Lloyd Mumford is a W6, actually. Okay, and then Mike Howell. Oh, they got a lot of interception guys. I might have to move this around just so it fits on one page. He's a W1. Charlie Babb. Holy cow. This might be the best team I've played with. Of course, again, 17-0. Then we've got, let's see, Bob Matheson. QS3. So now we got a guy like this, Larry Ball, not to be confused with Jerry Ball. He has nothing. He's a linebacker 2. He's a fumble recovery 0. He has no W, no QS. He's not, so he doesn't go anywhere. His name will probably rarely ever come out of my mouth. Same with Jesse Powell, who has nothing. Howard Kindig. All right. Malty Moore. Malty Moore is a QS1. And then Jim Dunaway is also a QS1. All right, so let's move some stuff around here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this here. I'm going to move this down here. It's okay. I'm going to move interceptions. Since there's more interceptions, I'm going to move them over here. All right, so we got to do it. We got to do a little house cleaning here. So we're going to do that. And then let's do these borders again. Format. Let's get rid of all borders. And then let's center. Interceptions. And, that one too. Boom. All right, so now we're going to join those two. All right, so let's make our border here. Format. Side. All right, so there's your interceptions borders. And now we'll do, you know what, I don't like that border. Get rid of that one. Whoops. Nope. Let's see. We need that and that. There we go. All right. So now let's look at the sacks. I'm going to move the sacks over here since there are less of them. And then I'll move the run pass here. All right. So let's get our borders correct. So format. Done. All right. So now we've got all of our numbers. The last thing we'll do is we'll do this run versus pass here. So if we go back to this, you've got 613 rushes. Holy cow, that's a lot. And you've got how many passes? 259 passes. Wow. That is darn near 75-25, isn't it? Yeah, it is 70-30. So when I do my orange dice here, I'm going to go 70% run, 30% pass. I'll have to figure out what that is. But holy cow, that's a lot. It's going to be what? 1 through 14 will be my run plays. Wow. All right. Okay, so now that's done. So now what we have to do is we have to determine what these dice rolls are for each of these locators. And that's really just a bunch of math. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these numbers out. So 3, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. Then we'll sum it up. And we'll get our number. And we're going to get a 17. Then we're going to go, we're going to multiply 3 into 17 so we know what percentage of the catches this Paul Warfield had. So we'll go equals M5 divided by M. And I'm going to go, that should be an M. M5 divided by M. I'm going to go $15 because I don't want that value to change when I drag it down. So 17.6% of the time, Paul Warfield was your receiver. And if I drag it all the way down to the bottom, and then I drag my summing over, let's go one more. This should always equal 1 because this whole thing adds up to 1,000% or 100%. 100% of the catches, basically. You know, he was 5%, he was 5%, he was 11%, and so on. So now we need to we got to figure out that percentage of the dice rolls. There's 36 possible dice rolls. So we're going to go equals N5 times 36. And that's going to say, what is 17.6% of the dice rolls? It's 6.35. I'm going to drag that down. And now we've got our dice rolls. And then what I'll do is, we'll delete this. I'll just start rounding off. So 6.3 becomes 6. This becomes 2, 2, 4, 4, 4, 2, 2. And what you're hoping for is you're hoping there's a 36 down there, but there's not. So then what I do is, I just start making stuff up. So I'm going to give Paul Warfield another one because he's the best receiver. And who's our starting receiver is Howard Twilley. We'll give him one. And now that number equals 36. And that's where we need to be. So now we know 7 dice rolls for Paul Warfield. So 7 dice rolls is 11 to 21. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 21. That's 7 dice rolls. If I roll my blue, which one is it? Where are my dice at? There we go. If Miami's on that side and I roll blue green and it comes up, let's say, a 14. 14 fits inside of that 11 to 21 right here. So that's how you know that that Paul Warfield is the receiver on that play. So we'll do that all the way down. So 2, that's going to be 22 and 23, 24 and 25, 26 and 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. And then you've got 51 and 52, 53 and 54, 55 to 62, 55 to 60, yeah, and then 63 to 66. Now our receivers are done. And we have their locators finished. All right, so let's do the same thing for our ball carriers. And this is really all I do. So we'll go, let's see, we'll just put a 213, a 190, 137, 27, 21. We'll sum it up. 588. And then we will go equals M17 divided by M $22. And the reason I do that is because when I drag, okay, so our formula is M17 divided by M22. When I drag this down, this now goes to M18. If that dollar sign wasn't there, that would go to M23. But I want that 22 to stay 22, and that dollar sign makes it stay at 22. Because I'm always going to be dividing by this number here. Regardless of which one of these 5 it is, I'm always dividing by that number. So we'll drag this across. We'll multiply by 36, and 17 times 36. Sorry, there's football on my TV right now. There's we got Denver and Buffalo in the wild card game. Denver's surprisingly up 7-0. I'm actually pretty surprised with that. All right, so it equals 36. So now let's round it off. 13, 11, 8, 2, 1. So we're at 35. I mean, I like those 3. I mean, these could. Let's take him to 12. Let's just do that. And that probably will throw the stats off just a hair, but I won't notice it, so it's fine. All right, so 13 is 11 to 31. 12 is going to be 32 to 42 to 51. And then, so let's start at the bottom here. We know he's 66. We know this is 64 and 65. That's going to make him 52 to 63. And there you go. So those are done. All right, let's get our interceptions. 5, 2, 7, 3, 4, 3, 5, 7, 6, 1, 1, and sum it up. All right. And then we'll go equals M24 divided by M $. 35. Nope. Oh, no, I did that one column over than I usually do. Yeah, I'm going to move it just because that makes me feel better. We usually do that column. And then this would be M. All right, so now it's really nice when this equals 36, because then you don't have to figure anything out. You just use these numbers. So we're going to go equals M24 divided by M $. 35. There it is. So we'll drag it down. Drag this across. And then we'll start doing the math. So 11% of 36. So that's going to be N. 24 times 36 is 4. We're going to drag that down. So now we've got our numbers. It equals 30. This is always an equal 1. This is always an equal 36. So 4, 2, 6, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 5, 1, 1. Hey, we got 36 right off the bat. So no need to actually fool with anything. And now he's 11 to 15. No, 11 to 14. He's 15 and 16. He's 21 to 26. 31 and 32. 33 to 35. 36 and 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46 to 55, 56 to, we got a 1, 1, so it's going to be 64 and then 65 and 66. So there's your sack numbers, and the last one is our interception numbers. Let's see, we're gonna move them. There we go. So 6, 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, 1, 1 equals the sum of these. Scroll just a little bit here. Then we'll go equals M 33 divided by M $42. We'll go across, and we'll go equals N 33 times 36. Pull it down, and we'll round. So 11, 5, 2, 4, 4, 2, 5, 2, 2. So now we've got one too many. When we get one too many, I generally just take the last guy that I put on there because he's probably the one that plays the least. And I'll just subtract one to get the 36, and that's where we're at. And now we'll go 11. So 11 is what, 11 to 25? Oh, I don't like that. Let's do this. So we're going to do this. We're going to go merge, 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 merge. I didn't like how narrow that column was. Whoops. Whoever, the person who sat down one day and said, we desperately need an undo button. We need Control Z is like, probably should be the richest person in the world. All right, there we go. All right, so 11 to 25. Then we'll go 26 to 34. That should be 5. 26, 31, 32, 33, 34. That's 5, okay? Then we're going to go 35 and 36. 41 to 44, 45, 46, 51, 52. What is this number of 2? Okay, so then we're going to go 53 and 54. Then we'll go 55 and 56. Nope, that's wrong. 55. He has a 5. 56, 61. So that's going to be 63. And then 64 and 65. And then he is a 66. And there you go. And that is a sheet that is now completely set up and ready to go to play with the Miami Dolphins offense. And I'm going to go ahead and do the Chiefs one next. You know, if you want to watch, I'm okay with that. I'm probably going to talk a little bit less. But the last thing I do is I get them in the order that I set them up. So we know that our quarterback is going to be Greasy, so we'll put him first. We know our running backs are going to be Zonka, Morris, and then we got to go our backups here for Jim Kick, Ginn, Herb Ginn or Hubert Ginn, whatever his name was, and Charlie Lee or Lay. I'll go with Lee. Oh, right on top. All right, so those are your running backs. And now what I'll do is I'll get the backup quarterbacks out. Where are they at? They should be here. This Morrill and someone named Jim Delgazzo. I'm going to put them right underneath Greasy. So this is the order that I set them on the desk. That just makes it easier for me later. And then I will get the kick returners. So we need a TA and an OA. They might be in the offense already. Let's see. Yep, Mercury Morris is the OA. And Charlie Lee is our TA, so that's good. So now give me our kickers. And that's going to be Upremian. And who's our punter? So these guys, let's see. That guy doesn't need to be there. I always put the backup kickers with the kicker. And then who's our punter? I just saw our punter. He's an offensive guy. He's a backup guy. Yeah, Larry Seipel. He's the punter. So I'll put him on the bottom. So now I got Greasy. And so I'll lay out Greasy and then Zonka, Morris, Kick, Ginn, Lee. And then our kickers, I'll have the OA and the TA already in there. And then I'm going to lay out the wide receivers separately. So you got him, and him. And then you got, let's see, a lot of wide receivers here. So we'll lay them all out. Jenkins, is he one of them? No, he doesn't matter. Briscoe, and those are your offensive linemen. So these are your wide receivers. So we'll put them on the bottom. And then everybody else, it doesn't matter. So let's see. We'll put our offensive linemen. We'll put all of our backup guys here. And then we put the starting defense followed by the backups. And Miami is done, and they can go back in the envelope. And we're finished. Now what I'll do to make Kansas City's is I will close Miami's, go to my folder, and I will make a copy of Miami. Oops, yeah. And I will just change it to Kansas City. Right, and then we'll open it here. All right, you can go. Oh, I was playing some golf not too long ago. That was my golf scores for where I was. All right, so now we're looking at this. Now we've got Miami's open. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete my images. I'm going to change that to say Kansas City Chiefs. We'll go to the Chiefs page. They went 8-6. All right, we'll grab our snipping tool. And we'll take a picture of the Chiefs. All right, come on. We'll copy it. Go back here and paste it. Make it smaller. A little bigger. All right, we'll copy and paste it, and we'll do that. So now the Chiefs are there, and then I'll just delete everybody. And now we are ready to do the Chiefs, and I have yet to take even look at the Chiefs. So let's move this out of the way. Let's go back to here. Nope, not there. Out here. There we go. Let's go here. All right, let's get the Chiefs out. And let's sort them by position. So halfback. So there's a guy that goes both ways. EB2, cornerback 2. We'll move him off to the side. Linebacker, defensive end, tackle, guard, tackle, guard. Lenny Dawson, quarterback. Frazier, fullback, tackle. Oh, yeah, that's right. Tackle, wide receiver, defensive back, fullback, middle linebacker, quarterback, end, linebacker, corner. Oh, he's Larry Marshall, cornerback 2. He's the punt returner and the kick returner. Guard, center, fullback, halfback. Ed Podolak with 2 cards. Corner, center, tackle, free safety, tackle, linebacker. Oh, Jan Stenerud. Jan Stenerud was with the Chiefs in 72. I know he was with the Packers at some point, but I know he was with the Chiefs. He must have started with them. All right, boom. Otis Taylor, Emmett Thomas. This guy, Marvin Upshaw. So linebacker, EB2. Oh, punter, Jarrell Wilson does a lot. Holy cow. And then we have an EB2 and an N. So now we've got our positions kind of worked out. We'll get the offense out of the way. We'll do the defense first. So let's start with our line. We've got a 3. The 2s I usually put aside because very rarely does a 2 ever start. And okay, so we've got 3 guys that can play defensive end. So the question is, who do I want to play? Now in this case, it's easy. This guy has a 4-3. Let's see if you can focus on this. Maybe not. Let's see if I do it here. Yeah, there we go. And it's smaller, but this guy has a 4-3 right there, his V rating. That means he's a 4 against the pass and a 3 against the run. If I put him in my starting lineup, I'm going to have to use 2 defensive cards. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to keep him on the bench. And this is going to be my defensive line. We got a 3, a 4, a 4, and a 3. Then we're going to go to the linebacking crew. And you've got, let's see, a 2, a 3, a 4, And a 4. All right, so we've got, there's your 43 defense. All right, then we've got our cornerbacks. All right, so let's do this so you can see. We'll move those guys over there. So here's your core. We got a 4, a 3. I'll move the 2s aside. A 3 and a 4. All right, so we've got our corners and our safeties. And now if we grab these guys in order, it's going to be like end, tackle, middle linebacker, tackle, end, outside linebacker, corner, corner. And I never remember if it's strong safety or free safety. It is strong safety. And then free safety. So now we've got our defense. And we've got our defensive backups. Good there. Now let's go look at the offense. Start with the offensive line this time. So we've got a tackle. Get rid of the 2s for now. Guard. Tackle. Gotta be a guard. There's a guard 3. Yeah, it always makes, they always seem to give you enough guys to where you have 3s or better at every position. Occasionally a really bad team will have some 2s in there, but most of the time you can just throw the 2s aside and just use the 3s as the worst players in your starting lineup. There's your offensive line. So give me my wide receivers and my tight ends. So we got a 2. So we got Otis Taylor as a wide receiver 4, Podolak a halfback 3. Which one are we using here? OCK. Yeah, we're gonna use this one. Got over there. We got Jim Otis, Jeff Kinney. Whoa, Dennis Homan. Wow, they don't. Oh, man, Kansas City. They went 8-6 that year. All right, so we got a EB. We got 2 wide receivers and a halfback. We need a fullback. Wendell Hayes is a 3. We need a tight end. Willie Frazier is a 3. And then all the rest of these players are 2s, which makes about that seems right. And then our quarterback we know is going to be Lenny Dawson. All right, so these are our players. So let's put these in the right order. We're going to go EB4, offensive line, ET, quarterback, fullback, wide receiver, and halfback. And there's your offense now in order. So now we've got our offense and our defense right here. So let's put those in. So put my glasses back on so I can see the screen. So let's go ahead and throw those in. Ooh. I don't know if you can hear my dog, but he is sitting on the floor behind me, panting like crazy because something is scaring him, and I don't know what it is. Taking him to the vet on Wednesday. I think he needs some doggy Xanax or something because it's been happening more and more lately. I have no idea what it is. Anyway, all right. So we're going to start with the offense. Give me my keyboard. Here, I'll move the microphone down so you can hear him. No, all he did was sniff the microphone. All right, so we're going to start with Otis Taylor. He's a 4. Whoops. And whoops. Oh, man, I can't type today. He's also an A6. Then we'll go to Jim Tyrer. He is a 4. We'll go to Ed Bud. He's a 3. So he's a 4-3. All right, so here's our problem. He's a 4-3. Whoops, right here. So you can see he's a V rating of 4-3. That means if I want to use him, I have to have 2 different defensive cards for the other team because he's a 4-3. So let's see if I have any other guards that are just 3s that I can put in. I don't think I do, so I'm probably going to have to do it. Yeah, see, all my remaining guards are 2s. I don't want to hurt the team just to make it easier on me. Actually, some teams I wouldn't mind. So let's do this. Let's go... Here, let's do this. Let's copy this. Put it there. Oh, whoops. I don't want to delete it. I just want to copy it. And then let's do this. Format. So now I'm going to have 2 different defensive cards. Unless there's a guy in here that goes the other way. This guy's a 4-3. If there's a 3-4 or a 2-3 or something like that, then it would even it out. So we'll see here. So Otis Taylor is 44. Jim Tyrer is a 4-4, but Ed Budd is a 4-3. Oh, I need to copy that. There we go. All right. So Jack Rudnay is a 3. Mo Mormon is a 3. Dave Hill is a 3. Willie Frazier is a 3. He's also a C1. So a lot of times when you see me playing and you see that A guy is the top guy here. Oh, you know what? I didn't switch over. I apologize. Let me do that. There we go. So a lot of times when you see, so I had to add this column right here because of Ed Budd in the 4-3, and now I have the math working out. Where right now, when the Dolphins defense comes up, they're going to be 1 better against the run than they are the pass because of the way this is set up. So. So Willie Frazier, a lot of times you'll see like Otis Taylor, he's an A, and he's going to end up being yellow. And then sometimes some teams will have their second receiver also an A. But you've got this tight end in the middle who's like a C1, which is what's happening here. That's why that happens. That's the order I put him in. I put the starting wide receiver, starting tight end, and then we get to the second wide receiver down a little further. Lenny Dawson is a 4. Uh-oh, something's wrong. Oh, no, it isn't. There we go. Wendell Hayes. He's our fullback. And he is a 3. He's also a BC3. Then we have Dennis Holman, our number 2 receiver. So not a lot of I'm surprised. I figured there'd be more good receivers on these 2 teams. But it appears they both only have 1 A. But it also, the way Miami ran the ball, I'm not surprised. I wonder if Kansas City is the same way. 2. And then Ed. Oh, here's another one. Ed Podolak. He's an A. He's an A on short passes. He's also a 3. So Ed Podolak. And he is an AB5. So I will color him yellow because he's an A on the short passes. Then I'll go to my bench, which is right here, and I will look for anybody else that caught passes. So we've got Elmo Wright. And he's a C2. Then we've got Robert West. Oh, that was a lot of letters. He's a C1. We've got Morris Stroud. He's a C1. We've got Jim Otis. He's a C2. We've got Jeff Kinney. He's a C1. We've got Bruce. So they got more than Miami. Stop it. Go. Jankowski. He's a C1. Any more? Oh, Mike Adamle. All right, so we have to move this stuff down. All right, so now we're going to go to Mike Adamle. Wasn't he the host of, what was that show, American Gladiators? Wasn't that Mike Adamle? Oh, man, we've got more. Wait, Podolak. I've already done him. Okay. So here. So we're going to merge. Boom. Fix the borders. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? God, I hope not. All right, that's it. So those are all the players that caught passes. So now let's check out the running backs. So we'll go back to Pro Football Reference. Oh, they got a lot of guys. Okay, so there's your running backs, and they got a few. All right, so See if I can position this so you can see it. There we go. All right, so we're going to type in here Ed Podolak, 171. You've got Wendell Hayes, 128. Mike Adamle, 73. Jeff Kinney, 38. Jim Otis, 29. Now, I generally don't put the quarterbacks in here unless, like, Randall Cunningham had a ton, because their quarterback card should have them running the ball. So he had 15 carries in 14 games. That's 1 carry per game. That'll get taken care of when I roll a 52 or a 32 or whatever, and a 26 or a 27 pops up. So these next two guys here, Dawson and Livingston, they're both quarterbacks. I don't really care about a guy that had 5 carries, so we're going to just stop there. All right, so let's minimize this. All right, so then we're going to go back to here. Now we're going to do the defense. So where's our defense? Is this it? Yeah, all right, so this is our defense. We're going to start with Wilbur Young. All right, so Wilbur Young, he is a 3-3, and he is a QS3. Okay, and then we got Charlie Culp. He is a 4, and he's a QS5. This ought to be a good game. I know it was a close game. I don't remember what the score was, but I knew it was a close game. Whoops. He's a QS5. You've got Willie Lanier. It's your middle linebacker 4. And he's a 4. He does not have a QS rating, but he does have an interception rating of W3. Got Buck Buchanan. And he's a 4 with a QS rating of 4. And I spelled that wrong. Then you've got Marvin Upshaw. Marvin, look out. Upshaw, he's a 3. And he's a QS1. I guess if you're not keeping stats, this stuff doesn't really matter too much. I just like doing it because I just love stats. Then we got Bobby Bell. These are all guys I've heard of. A lot of these guys I know, which is kind of nice. So he's got both. He's got interception and sack. So he's a W4 and QS2. Then you've got Jim Lynch. Let's see, he's a 3 with a QS1. We've got Jim Marsalis as a cornerback 3. This dog. Cornerback 3. W2. We've got Emmett Thomas. I've heard of him too. He's a 4 with a W2. Got Jim Kearney. He's a strong safety 4 with a W5. And Mike Sensabaugh. Wasn't he a coach? I think I know that name from coaching. And he's a 3. And he has a W8. Wow. So he intercepted some passes. Now let's go to the bench. All right, we got this guy. No. Okay, Clyde Werner with a W2. You've got, Aaron Brown, a QS7. Wow. All right, and George Seals. That might be it. Seals with a QS1. Those are your backups. Anybody else? Oh, here we go. Nate Allen. Oh, he's the guy that goes both ways. So Nate Allen, I got to add him. He's a cornerback. He has a W rating of 1, but he also has a catch rating. He's a C1. So let's move these guys down one more. We'll add in Nate Allen. This is the guy. I'll show you his card in a minute. C1. Let's merge them. We'll add some borders. And let's get rid of these borders. Format. You can hear my dog. I apologize. It's really loud. And let's get rid of this. All right, there we go. All right, so now they're set up. Let's get their run versus pass for this season. And let's see. Attempts, they had 476 rushes. And they had 384 passes. So, yeah, they ran a little bit more also. What was it? 384. Yeah, so both of these teams are going to be higher running teams, but Miami is going to be a big-time running team. So let me put these in the right order for when I'm going to set them out. So we know that Lenny Dawson is first. And I'll put the backup quarterback behind him. And then we know it's going to be Podolak, Wendell Hayes, Mike Adamle. He's going to be in here. Adamle, Kinney, and Jim Otis. Those are my running backs. All right, and then we need the OA and the TA. It's that defensive guy. This guy, Larry Marshall. So we'll put him on there. Then we need our kickers. And let's see, who are our kickers? We've got Gerald Wilson as our punter, Jan Stenrud as our field goal guy. Then we'll separate all the wide receivers. And there we go. And they go there. And then it doesn't matter about the rest of them. Okay. And there's your Kansas City Chiefs. And now all I have to do is do the math to get the locator numbers. And I will do that one more time here. All right, I moved the dog into the front room. I'm sure he'll be back, though. I don't know what happened. Sometime in November, he just turned into this nervous Nelly that, if I'm working from home, here he comes. If I'm working from home, he, sits right beside me, pants, shivers. I don't know what's going on. Doesn't happen any other time. It's literally just when I'm home and I'm, at my computer. It's the weirdest thing. So I'm taking him to the vet on Wednesday to see if we can figure out. Maybe, again, doggy Xanax might be in his future. We'll see. All right, anyway, so let's go ahead and do our locator numbers. And in order to do that, we're going to go sit. And he is back, so if you can hear him panting, I apologize. 5, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Let's sum it up. Oh, let's hope this equals 36. It doesn't. It's 28. So now we're going to do the math. Equals M5 divided by M $18. And then we'll move it all the way down. And again, this represents the number of, he's an A6. That means he got the ball 6 out of 28 total, because you had all those up. There's 28 total. So 6 out of 28, that's 21% of the time is when he got the ball. So now we need to know what 21% of the 36 possible dice rolls is. And that's 5 times 36. We'll go down. Again, I always go across just to make sure the math works out. So it should always be 1 in 36. Yeah, 1 in 36. Now we'll round up or round down. 4, 3. Oh, this one's 3, 1, 1. Okay, this one's not too bad. 1, 1, 3, and 1. So we're at 36. That's perfect. Now we'll come over here, and we'll go 11 to 22, I believe. Is that 8? Yeah. Yeah. And then 23. And then Wendell Hayes is 24, 25, 26, and 31. 32 to 34. 35 to 44. 45, 46, and 51. And then we got a 52, a 53, 54, 55, 56. And then 61, 62, 63 to 65, and whoops, and 66. So there you go. All right, so that's done. Let's get the carries. 171, 128, 73, 38, and 29. Okay, so M 20 divided by M. What is that? 25. Here, that, take it over, equals N 20 times 36. All right, so now we'll go 14, 10, 6, 3, and 2, and we're at 35. Let's get that guy another one. All right. Really, you don't put a lot of thought into that. So this will be 32, 33 to 43 is 7, 45, 46, 51 should be 10. And you know, I mean, if you get down to the bottom and you're like, wait, I have, 65 here and it should be 66, you made a mistake somewhere. Like, I know this is going to be 65 and 66. I know this is going to be 62 to 64. That means this guy is 52 to 61, which I don't think is right, actually. I think I made a mistake. Hang on. 65 and 62, 63, 64. Yeah, I think I made a mistake somewhere. So 11 to 32. That's 11. That's 12 and the 30. That's correct. This one here. 33, 34, 35, 36. And then, oh yeah, this is 33 to 46. And then this is 51 to 63 or 61, which is correct. All right, so that's good. Let's do these two. 3, 4, 2, 2, 5, 8, 2, 1. Equals. I wish I could show you what it looked like when it equaled 36. I guess if you do it, you'll see what I'm talking about. If you do it, you don't have to do these other two columns. You can just use these numbers, which is nice. But we're going to go equals N, let's see, M 27 divided by M $sign 34. Nope, 35. Pull it down. Oh, it's a multiple of 9. That's nice. Equals N 27 times 36. It's always nice when you get those round numbers. You don't have to round them off then. So 5, 3, 3, 7. So we're rounding a lot of them up here, which means we're going to get to the bottom. We're going to have more than 36. So we're going to take somebody down. And let's take 7. Let's take Jim Kearney down 1. All right. Okay. And now we'll go 11 to 14, 15, 16, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 31 to 33, 34 to 43. And that's a big number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and go 66, 63 to 65, and then I'm pretty sure it's 44 to 62. All right. Okay, and then finally we have Sachs 3, 5, 4, 1, 2, 1, 7, 1. equals M 33 divided by M. What do we got here? M 41 down across equals N 33 times. For those of you who don't like math, this might not be fun. I like math. I don't know. All right, so this is a tough one here because I can already tell the number of 0.5s we have. We're gonna have to subtract manually here. So we're gonna go 5, 8, 6, 2, 2, 11, 2. Yeah, we're at 39. That's a lot. So let's take the top 3 down. Let's take down him to 7. We'll take him to 5 and him to 10. And then we'll go equals. This is 11 to 15. Oops. This will be 16 to 26. This will be 31 to 35. He's a 2, so 36 and 41. 41 to 43. If you can't hear my dog right now, consider yourself lucky. 46 to 56 is 7, so 61, 62, 63. And then finally, see, I made a mistake here because I've got 64 and 65 because of the 2. So I've made a mistake here because I need to be at 66. So 11 to 15, 16 to 26, 31 to 35, 36 and 41, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. This must be 46 to 64. And this must be 65 and 66. And there you go. And now both teams are done. I'm ready to print these out. And if you want to scare my dog again, you print stuff because that frightens him. And we're ready to play the game. And now the good thing is whenever I play Miami and Kansas City again, I don't have to do this again. It's done. It's a kind of a pain at the start, but it's done. So thanks for watching, everyone. The actual game will come out next. Hopefully the same day. It might be the next day. I'm out of printer paper, which is kind of a problem right now. So we'll see what happens, and I'll talk to you in the next one.